Your iPhone is dying faster than you think. And it's not just a coincidence. Imagine this. Every year, you notice your once reliable iPhone starts to slow down just as a new model hits the market. Is it just bad luck? Or is there something more sinister at play? What if your smartphone was designed to get old, deliberately, to force you to upgrade sooner than you want? Today, we're going to uncover the unsettling truth about Apple's strategy. A strategy some call planned obsolescence. We'll reveal the secrets behind performance throttling, the psychology of keeping you hooked on upgrades, and the economic machinery that keeps you buying the latest iPhone every year. So, if you're ready to learn how the game is rigged, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. The conspiracy behind performance throttling. Let's start with the infamous performance throttling incident that made headlines worldwide. In 2017, Apple admitted to slowing down older iPhones in an effort they called battery health management. They said it was to prevent sudden shutdowns due to aging batteries. But here's where it gets suspicious. Why didn't they tell anyone about it until they were caught? Think about it. You start to notice your phone getting slower, apps taking longer to load, and that once fluid scrolling now lagging. All of this happening right when a shiny new iPhone is announced. Coincidence? Or a subtle nudge from Apple, encouraging you to upgrade? This practice led many to speculate that Apple was deliberately manipulating performance to make older devices seem outdated, a classic case of planned obsolescence. Apple ended up paying millions in lawsuits, but it raises a bigger question. How many other aspects of your iPhone are designed to fail over time? The psychological hooks. Why you keep wanting the newest iPhone? Apple isn't just selling phones, they're selling a status symbol. The company has mastered the psychology behind making consumers feel like they need the latest gadget, even if their current one works perfectly fine. Let's dive into the psychological tactics that Apple uses to keep you hooked on upgrades. First, there's the scarcity mindset. Those flashy new iPhones with advanced cameras and cutting-edge features are heavily marketed, making you feel like you're missing out. The moment you see friends or influencers showing off their new devices, there's a fear of being left behind. But it goes even deeper. Apple deliberately limits certain software updates and new features to the latest models only. Those cool new camera effects. Only available if you have the newest version. By making you feel like your old iPhone is inferior, they create a subtle pressure that keeps you looking towards an upgrade. Isn't it fascinating how Apple uses marketing and subtle limitations to make you believe you have to upgrade? They're not just making phones. They're making an experience you can't help but want, even if you don't really need it. Economic machinery. How planned obsolescence sustains profits. Now, let's talk about the economic forces behind planned obsolescence. To understand why Apple might deliberately shorten the lifespan of its devices, we need to look at their business model. Apple's profit margins are heavily reliant on product cycles, and these cycles are shortening. In a competitive tech market, constant innovation isn't just about being the best, it's about staying in business. The smartphone market is reaching a saturation point, with nearly everyone already owning a phone. So, how does Apple ensure continued growth? By pushing yearly upgrades. And what better way to make you upgrade than to make your older device feel older? This is where software updates come into play. Each year, when a new iPhone is released, your older model still gets software updates, but these updates seem to make your phone slower and battery life shorter. Could it be that software updates are designed to perform better on newer hardware, nudging you to switch? It's hard to prove, but the timing is always a little too perfect. What are the long-term consequences? The consequences of planned obsolescence extend far beyond your wallet. Consider the environmental cost. Shorter product life cycles mean more waste. Millions of iPhones end up as e-waste. And while Apple has made strides in recycling, many devices still end up in landfills. The raw materials that go into each phone, like cobalt and rare earth metals, are finite resources, often mined under dangerous conditions. If we're to tackle the environmental issues tied to our technology habits, then planned obsolescence can't be ignored. Apple has initiated some recycling programs, but they also need to address the core issue, designing products that are built to last, rather than to be replaced every few years. But would they do it if it means cutting into profits? The right to repair movement. A ray of hope. There's one movement gaining traction that might fight back against this culture. The right to repair. People are becoming more vocal about their right to repair their devices rather than replacing them. And Apple has been known to fight this at every turn. Their devices are notoriously difficult to repair, and they've long made it challenging for third-party repair shops to access genuine parts. Could a future where consumers have more control over their technology put an end to planned obsolescence? It's a complicated issue. Apple argues that its closed system is necessary for safety and quality, but consumer advocates see it as just another tactic to keep us buying new devices instead of extending the life of old ones. So, there you have it, from performance throttling and psychological hooks to the economics of constant upgrading. Planned obsolescence is a tool that Apple might be using to keep you hooked in their cycle. But there's a mystery here that remains. How far will they go to ensure their dominance? And will we ever reach a point where we refuse to play along? If this video opened your eyes to the strategies behind Apple's business model, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of the tech industry. Leave a comment below. Have you ever felt like your iPhone mysteriously slowed down when a new one was announced? We'd love to hear your experiences. Thank you for watching, and remember, knowledge is the best tool against manipulation. Stay informed, stay curious, and see you in the next video.